The 2024 NFL Draft, it's only a few months away, and we are only a few short weeks away from the 2024 NFL Draft Combine. Today, I want to discuss the top 5 quarterbacks on the Football Scout 365 NFL Draft Big Board right here on Football Scout 365's After Further Review. Now, before we get started with the analysis, I want to remind you to check out our website, footballscout365.com, where you can find the written version of this video. In addition to that, you can also find our NFL Draft Big Board rankings, where I rank the top 100 players ahead of the 2024 NFL Draft. Again, that's our website, footballscout365.com. Now, in terms of today's analysis, I'm going to provide an overview of each of the top 5 quarterbacks on our Football Scout 365 NFL Draft Big Board. Now, if you are looking for a more in-depth analysis on each of these players, we have individual player videos for each of these prospects that go way deeper than what I'm going to go today. So please check that out if you're interested in a more in-depth analysis. We're going to start out with the number 1 quarterback prospect on the Football Scout 365 NFL Draft Big Board, and that is obviously USC quarterback Caleb Williams. Now, Caleb Williams, he's obviously number 1 on almost everyone else's NFL Draft Big Board, and for good reason. He is an undeniable talent. He draws parallels to the likes of Patrick Mahomes. Overall, in terms of the consensus industry draft projections out there, he is considered the top prospect on everyone's draft board out there. Teams that he's been mocked to that I've seen consistently have been the Chicago Bears, the Washington Commanders, and even the New England Patriots. I believe that he's going to be the first player off of the board in the 2024 NFL Draft, but I believe it's going to take someone trading up with the Bears. And I believe the Bears are kind of posturing right now. You're hearing a lot of noise out there as well that the Chicago Bears might not be interested in trading this pick. They may just go get Caleb Williams and trade Justin Fields at the end of the day. I believe that they're still waiting to see who's going to offer them what and how much they're going to offer to move all the way up to that number 1 pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. Now, the number 2 quarterback prospect on our big board, it remains Drake Maye out of the University of North Carolina. He reminds me a ton of Justin Herbert. He even looks like him. He's got remarkable arm talent. He's a mobile player. He can run the football. He's got a big, strong, sturdy frame. He can extend plays with his legs. He is the ultimate competitor. I said during the summer when I was evaluating Drake Maye that he's got like the clutch Michael Jordan gene. He just seems to show up and make plays in high leverage situations. He did it more so in 2022 than you had seen in 2023, but you got to love what you see from this guy in terms of his competitive nature. Now, in terms of industry draft projections out there, he's being consistently mocked to the Washington Commanders and the New England Patriots. So he's looking at the number 2 or number 3 pick. A lot will be determined by what happens with that number 1 overall pick and what the Bears do. If the Bears go with Caleb Williams, number 1 overall, then I do see the Commanders taking a quarterback number 2 overall. In our last rankings video, I was kind of hedging on the number 3 overall quarterback, trying to figure out who should be in that spot. We're starting to question who's going to be the number 2 overall quarterback in the 2024 NFL Draft. So the next couple of guys that I'm getting ready to discuss have the potential to elevate into that QB2 spot of the 2024 NFL Draft, starting with the number 3 quarterback on my NFL Draft Big Board, and that's J.J. McCarthy from the University of Michigan. Now, I know I'm going to get hammered for this. That's fine, but I want to talk about it. I've seen this dude play. I've seen every snap from this guy. He has all of the same intangibles that the top 2 quarterbacks that I just discussed, Caleb Williams and Drake Maye, have. He's got the arm talent. He's got the mobility. He's got the football IQ. He played in a predominantly pro-style offense at the University of Michigan. He's a national champion. The dude's just a winner. He's 28-1 as a starter. He is a top 15 prospect that could push his way into the top 10 and even higher. Maybe he does get into the top 5. Maybe he is a guy who can land with the New England Patriots with that number 3 overall pick. Again, everything at the end of the day kind of hinges on what the Bears are going to do with that number 1 overall pick, and then what the Commanders are going to do number 2 overall, and what teams really do value at the quarterback position currently. Do they really see J.J. McCarthy the same way that we're hearing from Jim Harbaugh? Do they see JJ McCarthy in the same way that I see JJ McCarthy? I see him as an NFL style quarterback with all the intangible qualities that you're looking for at the quarterback position. Obviously, he's got the lean frame. He's not going to be running around in the NFL like Justin Fields, even though he's got the athleticism to do so if needed. You don't want him to do that, but he could pack some weight onto his frame if necessary. The draft projections out there, the industry consensus, they all have him projected as a first rounder now. For a while, he was in the second round range, but it's starting to catch up. The consensus overall pick number is around pick 25 to 30. NFL teams that he's being mocked to: the Broncos, the Patriots, the Seahawks, the Steelers, the Rams, the Buccaneers, the Vikings. Most of those teams, they're outside of, obviously, the Patriots. Those are mid first round picks that he's being projected to. That's where a lot of people have seen him going, mid to late first. I believe he can absolutely elevate himself into the top 10 of the 2024 NFL draft. Now, the number 4 quarterback prospect on the Football Scout 365 NFL draft board is a lot of people's number 2 and 3 prospect on their big boards, and that is LSU quarterback Jayden Daniels. Now, this is a dude who is considered a top 5 pick by many in the 2024 NFL draft. Despite his age, he's 23 years old. He'll be 23 years old when he starts his first NFL season, but he just absolutely provides that electric style on the field, that Justin Fields style of running out there on the field. He's got the arm talent. He's a good decision maker. He's been a consistently improving decision maker throughout his time in college, even going back to his time at Arizona State all the way up to LSU. If you track him, he's consistently gotten better, seeing the read and getting the ball out quicker. That's where I think that he's ahead of a Justin Fields even at this point in time in his career, if you were to compare the two, if they were coming out of the draft at the same time. So Jayden Daniels could easily be QB3. He could easily be QB2. NFL teams that he's being consistently mocked to that I see out there are the New England Patriots and then the Atlanta Falcons. I've also seen the Washington Commanders as well. So we're going to keep an eye on this. This could change after the NFL Combine. I'm excited to see moving forward what this looks like. Now, the number 5 quarterback prospect on our NFL draft big board is Washington quarterback Michael Penix Jr. Penix, he had to navigate a lot of injuries throughout his time at the college level. He had to overcome a ton of adversity, getting through all of that mentally, physically, obviously, to work his way back. He has fallen on the big board rankings just a little bit here. I've had him as high as QB3. I don't feel that that's the case at this point anymore. He didn't play in the Senior Bowl game. He kind of last minute backed out of that. This guy, he's one of the most accurate quarterbacks that we've seen maybe in the last 5 years. He's very, very similar, in my opinion, to a guy like Tua Tagovailoa. I've compared him to Tua many times, not just because they're left-handed, but the accuracy. He was being compared to CJ Stroud a bit this year. Joe Burrow. Now, in terms of industry draft projections that I've seen out there, he's projected to go in the second round. NFL teams that he's being mocked to out there: the Falcons, the Steelers, the Raiders, the Rams. I did a mock draft at one point where I had him going number 3 overall to the Patriots. If somebody falls in love with him, I don't think it's going to be top 5 pick. But if somebody falls in love with this guy, I think they're getting a guy who's NFL ready, a guy that they can plug in right away if they need to. If he is thrown into the fire as a rookie, he might already be on a team with some talent already on it. So if you're playing with the Falcons, you've got Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts is out there. If you're with the Steelers, you've got solid receivers. I believe there's going to be at least 3 quarterbacks drafted in the first round of the 2024 NFL draft. As many as 5 could be drafted in the first round. There's people that are mocking Bo Nix into the first round with Michael Penix in the first round. And then you see some people that are looking at it from my perspective where through the combine process, JJ McCarthy is going to move and elevate up. And that's going to increase the chances that you see maybe 4 quarterbacks taken in that first round, potentially 5 quarterbacks. To get to 4, I think we're going to need to see some other guys elevate upward to push some of these guys into the back end of the first round of the 2024 NFL draft. All right, let me know your thoughts. I'm going to touch base on this after the combine. Once all the dust is settled a little bit, the final quarterback rankings, I'll release those ahead of the 2024 NFL draft. And we'll talk about this rankings episode as well as previous rankings episodes. Again, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more great NFL draft content.